First of all, as I said earlier, it's always a pleasure to be back. Spending so many important years of my life here, seeing familiar faces, being able to come back and pay my respect to, an important place in my journey, cross paths and check in with people who played important roles in my journey. I could go down the list of names that, still play important roles here today. I don't acknowledge the names every day, but I think all of those people know how much I appreciate them, and I try to show my appreciation by staying present with them and answering the phone and coming back and acknowledging people for that reason. And just to see the fans come out, to see so many of the guys I played with, guys that came before me who, when I came on my visit, these are the names that they, mentioned as a part of a rich history here. So to be able to come back and do this again and to have it keep getting stronger every year is special, and it's an honor to be a part of it.
All right, any questions from the media?
Damian, if there's one most favorite part about this whole experience, every single time you come back, what is it?
I think my favorite thing is coming back and seeing the people that I shared my time here with still here. I think a lot of times people move on. Even in my career in the NBA, you only get a certain amount of time with people, and then it's time for them to move on, whether that's them having a better opportunity or, life happens. So, being able to come back here and not come here to a completely brand new experience, it makes it special, to see so many familiar faces still around. They were here before me, and, I've been gone almost 12 years, and for them to still be here, I think that's my favorite thing. So, for me, that's what makes it most special.
This is your 5th time, I believe, hosting it. Was there a unique part about the specific one in comparison to the previous 4?
I think this specific one, I saw more guys who, were in more recent history. There's been a lot of guys that couldn't make it. They playing overseas, getting tied up, just couldn't make it, So to see so many of the guys that I played with, guys that played a little bit after me when I first got in the league and I was coming back here a little more often, guys that played a few years before me, it's just seeing more of those guys, seeing more, and because of those people coming back, I'm seeing more people that just went to school here, that just shared that time with us as well. So I think this was different because of that reason.
You already kind of mentioned what Utah means to you, but you did just win the three-point contest during NBA All-Star Weekend in your Weber State jersey, and now you're here with your Weber State people. If you could just kind of sum it up, what does it mean to you to have an entire state just love you the way that they do?
I mean, it means a lot. I could talk all day about it. I think as I get older, I get more and more comfortable with who I am and what I believe, and those things I try to really have an impact in those areas. I think when I was younger, it was like, I was proud to be a Weber State Wildcat, and I was proud to come back and feel accomplished, and people to know the kind of person I was here and to know that I became successful. But now it's like I just get older and I want to dive deeper into it. I want people to know the impact of it, and I want to show people that it's not an act. You know what I mean? And I think the longer you're able to sustain that, and the more real you're able to keep it. Like at All-Star Weekend, like I didn't wear the uniform as a prop. You know what I mean? Being back here, I didn't come here and say, "Oh, I'm going, just try to pull a stunt." I was like, I'm going to represent for my people. And I always say it, but there's a lot of people that's still on this campus that, before I was Damian Lillard that I am today to everybody else, they treated me the same way. And, I don't take that for granted, and it's not lost on me that, those people remember, when I was on campus with no car and trying to figure it out, getting stipends and, just trying to make it, they still took the time. And, I could have chose any school coming out of high school, and I'm almost certain that I wouldn't have had that same experience, So I'm fortunate and I'm grateful to have crossed paths with the people that I did. And like I said, as I get older and I realize how much it has helped me as a man, it makes me want to just show my appreciation more and more. So that's what I try to do with my actions.
100%. And you mentioned humble, but acting like it, not just saying it. When I just talked to Dylan Jones, Weber State Wildcat, who's doing fantastic, and I asked him if you've ever given him any advice, and he told me that it's not just to say it, but also live it, do it, embrace that. And I think you do that really, really well. How often are you reaching out, or Weber State Athletics reaching out to you and talking to these athletes? And what advices are you giving Weber State college athletes when it comes to just that grind?
I mean, I talked to Dylan a fair amount. He came to my elite camp last summer, and that's when we really, became in more contact. But when he first got on campus, I come here every summer. I stay usually for a week, sometimes 2 weeks. So we've been in contact, but my message to them is hardly ever about basketball. Obviously they're here for a reason. We got a lot of scholarship players, but just being a part of a team it takes something different to be successful as a team. And you got to be selfless. You got to be coachable. You got to be trustworthy. To the rest of the guys. You got to have true character. That's what real winners have. And when it's not real, it gets exposed at some point. And when it's not real, it's hard to sustain. It's hard to keep up an act in anything that you do. And that's kind of my message to them: is just work hard, be coachable, be good people. Don't try to be what you think you're supposed to be. Be who you are. Be comfortable with that, and care about the next person. And I'm telling them that from experience, because I feel like a lot of my success has come from not saying that, but I do that. In front of people. I do it when people weren't there. And I'm not the biggest, I ain't the most talented, I ain't, not the most gifted, but I feel like all of the other things and how I was able to do it all the time, because it's who I am. I think that's what has made me most successful.
And I got one more for me, kind of an open-ended question, and you can really go anywhere with this, but what has Weber State done to make you into the basketball player that you are today?
I mean, when I came here, I think I was pretty talented, but it was just a lot of things I had to learn. The coaches just getting on me about being an everyday guy. Sometimes I would, I think we all feel better some days than we feel on other days. And when I came here, that was when I learned to be every day, even when I didn't feel like it, to make myself do it. When you come to Weber State, as bad as they wanted me when they recruited me, they told me to my face, you want to be late to class, you don't go to class, we're going to send you home. And, just the standard, being a part of a program with such a high standard, whereas you don't miss class, you're not late to class, you don't miss practice, you do study hall, you're respectful to your teachers, you participate like any other student would. There's no privileges. It's just a lot of accountability. And being a part of this program requires a lot of discipline. So just coming in, especially me being 17 when I graduated high school, and there was no slack, So it just made me more militant. And I think the way I go about things now, even like some of my younger teammates, like they call me Ump, because they just think I'm too serious, and I'm just so, on point about everything. I don't mess around, and I tell people all the time, like, that's a 4-year college experience of how things went. So I carry that part of it with me to this day.
Which player out there today impressed you the most?
I was pretty impressed with Dev, because I grew up with Dev, and just knowing that he hasn't played in a year. He took a year off, spending time with his son, working with his son. So just knowing he's been off for that long, and he come out and win the 3-point, his game was still smooth, he had good pace, so I was impressed by that.